Hi, this is Jackie.
Hi, this is Jason.
And this is Homebodies Only, where we welcome all bodies to join us as we break down and dissect HBO Max series. And this episode, we are talking about The White Lotus, Season 3, Episode 3, The Meaning of Dreams. All right, so I have the summary from my favorite, toonfind.com. When Saxon also starts getting calls from the office, Timothy decides the family should adhere to the resort's no-phones policy. After tagging along with Rick into town, Chelsea finds herself in another perilous situation. Meanwhile, Jacqueline tries to convince Laurie to have a vacation fling with Valentine, and Gaytok worries about getting reprimanded by his bosses. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into love.
Lots of stuff happening in this episode. Lots of intrigue. Lots of action. I think there's foreshadowing happening in this, which scares me a little bit. But we'll get into it. I have murder theories for later on.
Awesome. I have some theories about if someone like who might die, and I have some of those theories coming up too.
We'll talk about that later. But there's all kinds of intrigue going on.
Yes. Okay.
But what did you love this week?
Love. I had quite a few loves. Rick kissing up to Sitala. That whole exchange with her correcting Fabian on how to pronounce her name. She was like, Sitala. He's like, Sitala, Sitala. That was great. I loved it. Saxon was moving his pecs at one point. Did you see it? Did you catch it?
Douchiest man ever.
I was like, oh, I hope Jason saw that. And the sister's like, oh. Lockie signed up for he got signed up for corrective posture treatment. I was like, see, remember I got him hunched over? Like, he's
you should go. Really... And Parker Posey's like, you should go.
Yeah. The yoga
just put him
scene.
in a back brace.
I know. I mean, kid. I know I said he's my least favorite character. I don't dislike him. Like, I think he is, first of all, he's such a good actor. He's playing this part so well. Oh my god.
He is the put upon child in this scenario. Like, everybody is at this kid to be like a better person or something. Yep. Like,
I know.
And
That's true. That's true.
I do see where your theory could come true, where he might, snap or lose it or something. But we'll talk later. I have theories.
I loved the yoga scene when they were talking to each other in downward facing dog. I thought that was awesome. The ladies, and it was upside down, and they were filming them. I thought that was great.
The handsy yoga instructor.
I hate. He's on my hate right now. I can't with him. Oh my gosh. Oh, I wanted to talk about Gaytok, the actor who plays him. I did send Jason. This has really nothing to do with the show exactly, but I'm loving Gaytok more, even though he could be suspicious too. I'm a little suspicious of him as well. But I have to find where I sent you this, which account it was. Basically, the actor who plays him. He has a reel on Instagram, and he's singing No Diggity. I don't know if that's the actual name of the song, but it's like No Diggity, No Doubt. And I sent it to you. I think he's adorable. When Chloe says to Saxon, I hear you're a douche. I thought that was great. I love when Belinda calls out Greg Gary. I was so happy she went up to him. Porn Chai, a little tipsy and flirty with Belinda. Thought that was funny. I didn't love the snakes, but I wanted to just bring up that this is the year of the snake in, I think it's the Chinese zodiac. So I'm like, this cannot be a coincidence. Also, at breakfast when Victoria Ratliff there, Parker Posey, talks about her dream about the tsunami, and Saxon says, well, we're all, and talking about fears, I guess, and Saxon says, we're all scared of snakes and fire, but it doesn't mean, and guess what? There were snakes in the episode, and then there was the fire dancing at the dinner. So I'm like,
little foreshadowing there.
Little foreshadowing. I think that's all I have. Those are my loves.
I thought this is an interesting episode, and I started just like you figured out that Lachlan was YB from Coraline.
Yes.
I'm thinking of people that way too. And I
Okay.
think Fabian is the German Michael Cera.
Yes. Do you know I thought about Michael Cera? That's funny for Lockie. I was like looking at Lockie and I was like, oh, I feel bad for him a little bit, even though like there's something about him. I was like, if he was played by Michael Cera, Michael Cera could play him. I was thinking about that, but I
Like a
see that.
younger Michael Cera's like 40 now, but like
Yes. Yes.
like you're
But
thinking
I
of him
would
as
laugh
like
too much.
George Michael from
Yeah.
Arrested Development.
Yes. But I think I would laugh at him more because that's just Michael Cera. Like as soon as I see Michael
Right.
Cera, I start laughing. But that's funny you mention him. So, yep, I could see that with Fabian. Okay.
That character is he's sort of very funny in the fact that he is also sort of put upon by his boss and so forth. I mean, I love the filmmaking that's happening here. I love the cinematography. There was a really great transition where they transitioned from like a wave coming into the beach to the sky to a cloud, and the foam from the wave was like matched perfectly into the. And as an editor myself, I just love little touches like that. I do like the budding romance between Belinda and Pornchai. I also I really like Tim's lawyer on the phone. Really solid advice. He's like, I know you're crawling out of your skin right now, but don't talk to anybody before you talk to me. Absolutely. I'm not a lawyer, but that sounds like very good lawyer advice. I also like how they incorporate Thai culture.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it was done with a certain degree of like sensitivity that doesn't feel like cultural appropriation
Yeah.
or that sort of American imperialism of like, let's put a bunch of white people in this country and
Mm-hmm.
interpret however we want.
Yeah.
Or like those famous examples where you have like Americans explaining to somebody their own culture,
Yes.
like while they're visiting there.
Yeah.
So I really like that. That feels genuine and it seems to be
Mm-hmm.
done from a Thai point of view. I love that there's a snake hospital. Like they basically have an emergency room just for people
Just for
getting
that.
bitten by
Yeah.
snakes because
Mm-hmm.
there's so many snakes in
Mm-hmm.
Thailand, and I feel bad for Chelsea. So
Yes.
like I really feel for that girl. But like the fact that there's like a snake place and then there's like a hospital for
Yeah.
people because they just know people are going to get
Yeah.
bitten by snakes.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you noticed this, but and I'm not a car guy. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I've lived in New York a long time. I haven't owned a car in almost 30 years. But like the the
The
snake
truck.
the snake place has a Datsun
Datsun. No, I
truck.
noticed that.
Those
Yeah.
don't exist anymore. They haven't
Yeah.
existed since like the late 80s.
Yeah.
So that's how old that truck is.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is genuine, man. That is like
Mm-hmm.
production value.
Yep.
Somebody found that picture car, and dudes are rocking a Datsun. I thought I I thought that was awesome.
I
That's it for my loves.
okay. Hate. This was annoying the patooties out of me. Jacqueline sits. First, I noticed at breakfast, but she also did it at dinner. She sits with one knee up, and it's driving me nuts. I don't know. I don't. I'm like,
Michelle
what?
Monaghan.
Yes.
Yeah,
What? Why? Ugh.
I
It's
think that's the.
obnoxious.
I think that's to show like what a free spirit she is,
Yes,
and how relaxed she is,
but she shouldn't do
how
that.
LA she
I don't
is.
like that.
You
I
know,
don't like that. I hate Valentine. He just annoys me. I don't trust him. I don't even think he's that hot, so it's annoying me that they're pushing her to be with him or
I thought
whatever.
that was also kind of annoying the way they're kind of like because you can tell she doesn't really want to.
No, because if she did, then she would. Also, I've had Reiki, and I don't know why she had to be like half naked. Because you don't. You could be fully clothed with layers. It doesn't matter. So
Been
I
a
was like,
long time since she's been not touched by a man that
yes.
way.
I've only had Reiki by a woman. So I thought that was unrealistic. I hated the security guards messing with gay talk, and I still hate Greg Gary so much. I hate him so much. Oh, he's going to get it. He's got to get it. He's got to get it.
There's a lot of deviousness going on there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so is that all your dislikes?
Yes.
Okay. I am not crazy about the way Tim is handling his
Oh,
phone
brother.
call situation. That is so dumb for a smart guy. it's so obvious what he's doing that even Parker Posey, who is not like coherent half the time, can
Yeah.
tell what's going on with him.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting that he starts kiting her meds.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously the guy is super stressed out. He thinks he might go to jail, but like rather than talk to somebody, the schmuck
No.
is just going to
Of
bear the
course
burden
not.
by himself.
Of course.
So and it almost seems like bad writing, like,
Mm-hmm.
because it's so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of wondering, and I don't think the show has bad writing, but it's like, is it bad writing or is his family just willfully blind
I
to
think
his action or so self-absorbed that they don't notice this man is like
falling apart.
just about to, burst kind of thing.
I think it's a combo. I think there's a Southern thing there too. Again, I don't know. I'm not Southern, but
Southern pride kind of thing.
Southern pride. But so his Southern pride, also the wife knowing something's wrong, but knowing she's not going to pry. She's just going to, he's the one that makes the decisions. He knows what he's doing. And also if there is a problem, she's going to pretend there isn't, because there's a lot of that, a lot of
Yes.
just keep hiding it and hiding it and hiding it.
My son's a douchebag, but I can't say it. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
there's
think the
a lot of that
kids,
going on.
I think maybe they're so used to him, whatever, with his business, possibly they could be very self-absorbed, or it's just the just think he's busy and being obnoxious.
There's like a separation of church and state kind of
Mm-hmm.
happening between them.
Yeah.
Which is fine if you're like 10, but when
Right.
you're this age, you should
Yeah.
be like, hey, what's up with you? Like,
Yeah.
what is going on? You look like you're about to have a nervous breakdown.
I mean, Saxon did, the douchiest one was like, can I help out? Is there something going on?
Right,
And he
right.
switched it around and was like, you're doing so, I think you're going to be so great. He just like switched it all around.
You know how much I love working.
Yeah. So, well, I wanted to ask you, did you know that I think Mike White told all of them, like the Ratliffs who were playing the Ratliffs, to watch Southern Charm on Bravo? Okay, so I did watch that
I
back
think
in the
that's where,
day.
didn't Jason Isaacs said that he got his accent from somewhere.
Yes.
I guess that was where he,
Now it's oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm blanking out. So there is a guy that was on that show that a big scandal. He has a bridge named after him in the small town where this place was filmed, and he really does act like him. I cannot believe. I should have written down his
so
name
like
at the
it's
time.
about a Southern family that's got like old white people money kind of
Yes, it's
thing.
like
Yeah.
there's this main family, but then there's this other family, and young people, at the time. Well, it's not that old, but there have been like, it's one of those reality shows, but that
Mm.
there is this deep rooted Southern thing, and the hiding of stuff and the facade and all that. So,
Yankees like
yeah.
us don't get that sort of thing. I also I just want to just state snake shows should not be a thing.
No.
That should Nobody should go to one, nobody should have one.
No.
Nobody should be playing with cobras. Do
Nope.
not try this at home, kids. And I know that Rick, who I really love Walton Goggins in this
Yeah,
thing. He's terrific.
he is.
But I know he's going through a lot of stuff, but man, I just want to slap him. Like, just like, dude, you've got this nice, sweet girl who's
It's like,
like,
you're my soulmate.
yeah, she's like, you're my life partner. And he's like, whatever,
I
you
know.
know,
I know. I know. And then
like how,
then he lets these snakes out and one bites her. I mean, I was like,
I mean,
oh God.
first of all, she's almost killed in a
Mm-hmm.
robbery,
Mm-hmm.
and she gets bitten by a snake.
Yeah.
I
Not
have
looking
thoughts and
good.
feelings about this, about Chelsea.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on though. We'll move on.
Okay. I could relate. Oh my gosh. Okay. So after Rick comes back to the table, after he was talking to Sitala, Chloe said he won't like say what he was talking about. She says, Scorpio's so secretive. So my husband's a Scorpio. I'm very into astrology and the signs and all that. And also too, he's like, our signs aren't compatible. She just looks at him.
Just such a dick thing to say.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know.
yeah. And of course, I am into energy healing. I mean, I live in Woodstock, but I have had Reiki, and so I'm all into that. I would not have it from him. He annoys me. And the I won't get into like the political stuff, but I will say I've definitely seen, and I'm not saying this totally with my friends, but I hate to say straight couples, I've seen wives totally just take whatever opinion that their husband has. Definitely have seen that. Um, I do not talk politics with my friends, especially when I know we're gonna not agree.
You live in upstate New York.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say. I think that was my one I could relate is not so much it's more of like avoiding the political discussion
Mm-hmm.
and also the church discussion.
Oh yeah.
I've been to Texas. It's a very different place. And for New York and LA people, they're like, "Oh, I can't wait to go down." They're never going down there. No, they're not gonna step foot in Austin as long as they live.
Yeah.
They're like, no,
Yeah.
you can tell. And I get all that. I
Mm-hmm.
get all that.
They never say where the three of them grew up together, right? They don't say like,
No,
or
they
do
don't say
they?
where they're
No.
actually from, but one's in New York, and then of course the other one's a
LA
LA
and now
TV
Texas.
star, and the other one's in Texas.
Yeah.
And she's probably married to some Texas oil guy or
But she said they moved. Well, she said they moved. I don't know. I don't know if they moved. She said ever since we moved to Austin, they've gone to
my
this
okay, my
church.
guess with her husband is they moved to Texas so he could avoid paying taxes
Oh,
and
I
they
didn't
could
know
keep more
that.
of their money.
There you go. I'm sure. So, fashion, I only had two things. That's it. But the one item I have a little bit of a story for. Okay. It is Sitala's purse in one of the first scenes. Yes, when she sits down to breakfast and Rick comes over to
Sitala.
her. Sitala. Um, it is this purse is gorgeous, black. It is like a half circle shape. It has tassels on it. It has gold on the top, like trim. It has a red handle. So I start first. I Google lens. No, first I go on Shop Your TV. They don't have the purse. I'm like, what? What? So then I go on Worn on TV. It's .net, by the way. I think one time I said .com. They've shown things that are like vintage and unavailable, but they'll still like put it on there, and they didn't have the purse. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I Google lens it. The closest thing I find is like this green purse. So I go. This was all this morning. I went on to Shop Your TV's Facebook page. I took a picture of it. You put up the picture. You say the show, the episode, all that stuff. Within the hour, I got a response from this woman, Erin Melton, who is an admin on the page. I don't know. She must work for Shop Your TV. I'm not sure. She said that they could not find this one. They said it's either vintage or custom. And she put up the most beautiful picture of this purse. It's not even in the show, so I don't know if she somehow got a like a from this on set. She got a photo. I don't know. But they have the names of the episodes before they air. I know also on their website, so they obviously have some kind of inside connection. But I did, yeah. So I found the green one. Then later on today, someone else added to the little thread on Facebook and had found something even more similar than what I had found, a black colored purse in the same shape and everything. It just like intrigued me that I'm like, what do you mean you can't find it? So now I'm like dying to find it
I mean, it could also
and
be
know the
something that
story.
that the costume department sourced in
Hmm.
Thailand,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. And then the one other thing I loved was it's a kimono, really. It's green. It's a different color green. It's like an olive green and then a lighter green, and it has leaves on it. And Jacqueline was wearing it at dinner when they were pressuring Lori to get with Valentine, or asked how it went with Valentine. And that one, of course, I could find. I think it's unavailable right now. It's 127 euros. So, but there's so many alternatives. Of course, there's an alternate on Amazon. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I'm wearing basically a kimono right now, like a robe, I could live in them. I love them. I think everybody looks good in them. They feel good.
I think the costume designer is going to, or has, or is going to make an H&M line based on some of the clothes
Place I
from.
this
I
season,
saw
I
that
was going to
somewhere,
say, not shocked.
but I saw that I saw that she was doing that. Um, I had
I was
one
going to
fashion thing
predict that.
that I
Okay, well,
thought
wait,
about.
before you say, I
Um,
was going to say, I think we're going to see a lot of this type of clothing coming out like this summer and everything. So,
for
okay,
summer,
sorry.
yeah, it's like it
Yeah.
feels like a tie-in.
Yep.
It almost feels like there is a lot of ties between entertainment industry and fashion industry,
Mm-hmm.
especially
Mm-hmm.
now. I was kind of digging Rick's red and green Hawaiian shirt thing that he was wearing. I don't think I'm pulling that off, but it works on him. And he also had like a white shirt later on. Like,
Yes,
that
I
those
like that
light
at dinner.
that to me is just a target for whatever sauce I'm eating. That shirt, that poor shirt wouldn't last, but I don't have a costume department that can just give me another shirt.
What I love about Rick is he just looks so greasy. Like he just looks like you can feel, what his skin feels like. It's
I
just
just, they keep hinting at this backstory, and I'm wondering if we're going to see any of it
yes.
with him. I wonder if we're going to get a flashback, you know,
Yeah.
because it sounds like he had a terrible childhood. All right, shall we move on?
Yes. To who's the shooter?
So I went back and I watched the first two episodes again.
Okay.
And I would notice, so there's a couple of different things here. So in the opening, when we start to hear the shots, they sound like they're coming from far away, and the gun fires over a dozen times.
Whoa.
It's like 14, 15 shots. So that's not a pistol.
Okay.
That's not one pistol anyway. And it's not a single bolt action rifle or something like that. So it might be something like an assault rifle that has a big magazine,
Mm.
or it could be multiple guns, multiple shooters. And we only see one victim, but after that victim, we hear more shots.
Yes.
And they do sound like to me, it sounds like a rifle. It doesn't sound like a pistol. So I think it feels more like a sniper, like
Oh.
somebody on a tower or somebody who's firing on a group of people,
Okay.
rather than like,
Just
you
someone
know,
like,
like a
yeah.
crime of passion. Somebody picks up a
Yes.
gun and shoots somebody. That you shoot somebody
Mm.
once. You don't, shoot 15 times. Like you don't
Yeah.
shoot the whole gun, reload the gun like twice.
Right.
The other thing is we don't know exactly how many victims there are
Right. Right.
or how many shooters there are.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be multiple shooters, multiple victims. They could be shooting at each other, and the what you see is like collateral damage
Yeah.
from the guests that could have been hit by a ricochet or a backfire or something.
Yep.
It may not be the intention that we think.
Yes. It might not be one of the guests loses their mind.
Right.
It might
One of
be.
our many suspects on the Orient Express may not have done it. It could
Yeah.
just be
That's
some
true.
rando with a gun. And these
That's
people.
true.
So, are there
Or like a
multiple
local
shooters?
person. Yeah.
Are there multiple victims? A few bits of intrigue I just want to bring up that could lead possibly to the shooting. One thing, one thing I feel bad about this. Are they foreshadowing Chelsea's death?
I was thinking that
Because
too.
she survived now two brushes
Twice
with
and three
death.
times a charm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was like the rule of
I.
threes. Something
Mm-hmm.
else is going to happen, and she's going to,
Mm-hmm.
which would be unfortunate because I really like that character. But she's already had two brushes with death so far.
Yeah.
Also, we have two instances where one character recognizes another character, and that character doesn't want to seem to be recognized.
Right.
So Belinda recognizes Greg slash Gary. So does that mean he's going to off Belinda to try
Right.
to so that she doesn't blab about whatever horrendous things he's done? And then
I
in
don't know
the
how no one
first
else has Googled him or, figured
right
anything out.
in the first episode, Kate, Leslie Bibb's character, she recognizes Parker
Mm-hmm.
Posey.
Yep.
and Parker Posey didn't want to seem to be recognized.
Mm-hmm.
So is that her just being weird, or is there something
Something
more
there.
sinister going
Mm-hmm.
on?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other bit of intrigue, there's two more bits of intrigue. One is, what is Rick's agenda
Right.
with, like, what does he want
From that dude.
from the owner of the place's husband? Also, he's got a buddy in Thailand that he's called
Yep.
for help.
Mm-hmm.
What does he need?
Mm-hmm.
More drugs, a gun? Like, what what can't you bring on a plane when you
Right.
go to Thailand?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other bits, at the very end of the episode, we're in Belinda's room after she gets back from her little pseudo date, which is adorable. She's looking around and she's like, "What the?" And it seems like somebody has
She
been in
hears
her
something.
room.
I thought she also heard a noise. Well, she heard a noise, and she said, "What the f was
Yeah.
that?"
It could be a misdirect. It could just be her. That's when her sons arrived and he's already there and she didn't see him yet,
That could happen. Mm-hmm.
or it could be a cleaning lady or something.
Mm-hmm.
But what, or was it Greg, looking to see what
Mm-hmm.
she knows about him? That so that was those are some bits of intrigue that are plot lines that may possibly lead to somebody getting killed.
Yeah.
So they are definitely planting seeds. We don't know enough yet. I feel like you can't really make it too much of a murder mystery yet because you don't know. First of all, you don't even know who's dead, so you
Right.
can't figure out why somebody would want to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll get another flash forward, and we'll get to see that at some point in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, we just have a bunch of mystery, a bunch
Yes.
of mystery seeds planted.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, I wanted to do like a whole, like, who do you suspect the most kind of thing out of all the, but I don't know if we have enough evidence yet.
Yeah, and now that you're saying too, with it more sounding like a rifle, it's like maybe it's not any of them. I don't know. Would they have a rifle? One thing
I
that
mean,
popped.
is it like a weird Thai civil war
Right.
that's happening and,
Right.
just happens to happen? I mean, they're in the middle of the jungle for
Yeah.
God's, you don't know. But
Yeah.
like the other thing that the amount of shots tells me is that there's intent there. That is not
Mm-hmm.
a misfire of a gun.
Right. No.
You know, at first I was thinking suspicious monkeys,
Monkeys.
but monkeys are not going to fire that many times.
No.
Like I thought it was like once or twice, and then I went back and counted. It's over a dozen
Wow.
shots.
Wow.
So somebody really wants to kill somebody or some bodies.
Yeah.
Like they are trying to kill multiple people,
Mm.
which is crazy that would happen in Thailand. That feels like a very American thing to do.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
so that does make you kind of suspect the Yanks.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, do they even have guns like that in
Right.
Thailand? What are the gun laws like? I mean, they have
I don't
snakes
know.
aplenty.
Right.
Like if you were I guess if you were a Thai native and if you really wanted to kill somebody, you just bring a cobra.
Yeah. Yep.
Just
No
put them
problem.
in the room, middle of the night. They don't
Yeah.
wake up.
Yep.
Oh look, a cobra got in.
Yeah.
No mystery whatsoever. Case closed.
Yep.
But you don't shoot somebody 15 times.
Did you catch the glimpse of I gotta like take a picture of it or something and send it to you because there was a transition, like a transition scene, and they went to a monkey, and the monkey, just like Jacqueline, had its like leg hanging on the limb of the tree. I was like, wow, look at that. And I thought of you. I was like, oh, I hope he saw that monkey shot.
There was a couple of shots of monkeys that are just like so. Another film convention from westerns is called Cut to the Horse. So
Okay.
and if you ever get to watch reality TV, they do it a lot in reality TV because a lot of times the audio is manufactured.
Okay.
So like two people are having an argument, but it didn't happen all at the same time.
Okay.
So they're Frankensteining different bits of audio and putting them together. Well, you can't show the people talking because they didn't speak just then. So what do? They cut to the dog.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I've seen
In a
that. Yep.
Western, they used to cut to the horse. So like if two guys were talking, you had messed up audio, you had to do some overdub later, you had to do some ADR. You cut to the
The
horse.
horse.
This show feels like cut to the monkey.
I got to the monkey.
Like
Yeah.
when transition, man, we don't have a thing for that. Cut to the
To the
monkey.
monkey.
The monkeys look suspicious. We cut to the monkey. go into the next bit, like, and everything like, but the way they show this place, it's like, it looks like they're in the jungle.
Yeah.
Like their neighbors are like Tarzan and
Yes.
Jane, and like
Yes.
it's like
Yeah.
immersed.
They're really in it.
It's like you got
Yeah.
you got Monkey Jungle on one side, and then
Mhm.
like Tsunami Beach
Yeah.
on the other side.
God.
Great spot for
Yeah.
vacation.
Wonderful.
Can't wait to go.
No, definitely not. Also, this popped in my head. I think that maybe neither of them will get killed, but I feel like if Gaytok dies, Mook will survive. If Mook dies, Gaytok will survive. Like I just pictured that all of a sudden. The
Oh,
one or the other is like, I know. I hope not, but I hope neither one.
they're so adorable
I
that
know.
you just don't want anything.
No, neither one. But
I don't think I can pronounce either of their real names, because Thai names are very long usually and very difficult to pronounce.
His
But
name, his pronunciation is not at all the way it's spelled. It's
right.
it's an M. It starts with an M because he put how to pronounce it on Instagram.
Oh.
So I follow him. Let me find him.
But she, Mook,
Oh, she's Lisa.
she's like a popular K-pop star. She's like a rapper. Like I saw a video of her, like
Oh my
music
gosh.
videos and stuff, and it's completely different. She's got like this whole persona. It's crazy. It's like you don't even think it's the same person.
That is hysterical.
Because she's like so quiet and demure, and
Yeah.
But yeah, those two are too cute. I hope neither one of them gets killed. I do think though, of the two,
Yeah.
I think Gay Talk would probably die.
Yeah.
I think
feel
he's going
like
to
it
eat it.
too. Because he's the security guard and
Right. He's a front line of defense.
Yep.
He's also smitten, which,
Yep.
That's almost, it's not quite, but like if anybody ever coughs in a movie, you know they're dying. Like when people watch any movie with somebody
Yeah.
that's like, you don't know they're sick, and then they
Right.
cough. Act
They're
two,
dying. Yep.
luncheon meat.
There you
They're
go.
just dead. That's a short. You might
Okay,
as well
wait.
just sign your own death warrant if you're going to cough in a movie.
Yeah. Done. So his first name is spelled Tayme, but then he puts in parentheses, oh gosh, who knows how, but it's like it looks like Maythai or Maythai. So you pronounce it like that.
Sure. I've encountered a couple of different Thai names, and I can't pronounce any of them, so I don't even try. I just, rather than hear me butcher the name,
Yeah.
it's just much better. And that's his name.
That's his name. On TikTok, I put up the comparison of Jessica Alba and Mook, and I got a lot. I mean, I didn't get a million, but I got a lot for me of views and likes. And one person said, nope. And I was like, really? You don't see it? But whatever.
I mean, she's kind of sort of the young Asian Jessica Alba.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But it's funny that she's okay. I had a feel because I was trying to look her up. I don't know if maybe she doesn't. And something came up where I was like, that's not her. Like she had an album. So it was her.
Yeah.
You're
she's
right.
She's like a K-pop rapper.
Wow.
So strange.
Yeah.
Could not be further from what she is. But yeah, we had lots of. I thought there's lots of interesting things going. The only thing that gets me with the show, it's a slow burn. Feel like, all right, can we get to the chase a little bit faster here? But other than that, I think it's really good storytelling and really good filmmaking. I love the way it looks. It's a gorgeous show, very well done. And I also want to see if some of these characters get to sort of fulfill their promise. Like what happens? Like does Rick get a big arc where does he get to be the hero in the shooting scenario? Does he save Chelsea's life, or does he use her as a human shield? I don't know. I think one or the other.
It's like she already has a snake bite. So
Yeah, seriously, I love you. Take this. Stand right here, honey.
She does say too, if I die, I'll come back and
haunt you.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. That character's adorable. I don't want her to die, but it's not looking good so far.
It's not.
It's looking, also when they put the Grim Reaper right over her shoulder, I thought that was foreshadowing. Like, She's like, if I die, and like, is that a shadowy figure with a scythe behind her?
Waiting.
Then it turned into like a Family Guy episode. But yeah, I don't want to see that happen, but they
No.
keep hinting at
They
it.
are hinting at it. Yeah.
And, like we said, there is a rule of threes. It comes in comedy and it comes in death as well. It's going to be one of those shows, I think, where when we finally do see the end result, you'll be able to go and see all of the ground and bricks laid, for that particular path. You're going to be able to go back and go, oh, okay. Like, we still don't know what's happening with certain characters. Like, we don't know what's happening with, the other point of intrigue, too, is the thing with Tim and his ex-business partner, Kenny, who I said when I heard the voice, I was like, that sounds like Ki Hai Kwan. It is Ki Hai Kwan.
Oh.
On the other end of the phone. I looked it up on IMDb. I don't think they hire that actor without actually seeing him.
I don't know who that is.
He was in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, okay.
He was the main guy. He was Short Round in the second Indiana Jones film. That's where he started. He was a child actor.
Oh, okay.
He was also the Asian kid in The Goonies.
Okay.
And then he didn't work for like 20 years, and he finally came back.
Yep.
Now he's working all the time. He just had a starring role in a film.
All right, so we should talk about some new stuff happening.
Yeah, we have a little bit of our own news. I'll do a little housekeeping here for us. So, if you are a fan of this show and Jackie's other show, Made with Jackie Hansel, and maybe you've watched my show or listened to my show, No Rest of the Weekend, know that these shows are part of the BTRP Media Network, which is now live on Patreon, patreon.com/BTRP Media, where you can find all of our shows, including Homebodies Only, Made with Jackie Hansel, No Rest for the Weekend, ActuallyPaid.com, Origin Stories, which is another show that I did a while back, and we have a new YouTube channel, Behind the Rabbit Reviews, which is now currently on YouTube, but all of the episodes, all the video for all the episodes is going to be on there. We'll be updating it all the time, and you can follow us there for free. Or if you're a little bit more daring, you can get extra stuff. There's a couple of extra videos on there right now. We just launched this thing for like $6 a month, and you can help us make more great content for you with more great videos. And there's a couple of videos now that are for members only, including my documentary, which is a tribute to Ghostbusters, the 40th anniversary. It's called We're Ready to Believe You. And I also put up the No Rest for the Weekend Awards post show. But that's all on Patreon, patreon.com/BTRP Media. That's my professional ad read voice.
Sounded good.
Cool.
All right.
Shall we wrap it up?
We'll wrap it up. All right, everybody. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.
This is the BTRP Media Network.